into Antony and Cleopatra, Act 1, Scene 2. Brief synopsis. Antony learns that Fulvia, his wife, has died. That and other news, especially news of Pompey's threat to Caesar, make him decide to return to Rome. So we have Barbus, Antony's assistant here, Antony's servant, and all these other people, the soothsayer, Charmian. Charmian is Cleopatra's servant. Lord Alexis, sweet Alexis, most anything Alexis, almost most absolute Alexis, where's the soothsayer that you praise so to the queen, to Cleopatra? Oh, that I knew that this husband which you say must charge his horns with garlands. Soothsayer, your will? Is this the man, is you, sir, that know things? In nature's infinite book of secrecy, a little I can read. And I mentioned this, I believe, but you remember in the introductory video, I was looking at change, being and becoming. We think of Hamlet's wheel, Macbeth's river of blood. There's a whole thing in Antony and Cleopatra about fortune and chance. Whose fortune? There's fortune. Fortune's mentioned 43 times. And this being and becoming with fortune as well is a thread that runs throughout. So pay special attention to the soothsayer and fortune throughout. Show him your hand. Barbus is a servant, Antony. He's always telling the truth. He's like really sober-sighted, knows what's going on. Bring in the banquet quickly, wine enough, Cleopatra's health to drink. Good sir, give me good fortune. I make not, but foresee. Pray thee, foresee me one. You shall be yet far fairer than you are. He means in flesh. No, you shall paint when you are old. Wrinkles forbid. Vex not his prescience. Be attentive. Hush. You shall be more beloving than beloved. I'd rather heat my liver. Oh, heat my liver. The liver is believed to be the seat of sexual desire in these times. Nay, hear him. Good now, some excellent fortune. Let me be married. This is Charmian, the Cleopatra's assistant, servant here. Be married to 3 kings in a forenoon and widow them all. Let me have a child at 50 to whom Herod of Jewry may do homage. Find me to marry me with Octavius Caesar and companion me with my mistress. This is what she's wishing for, right? And what's great about Antony and Cleopatra, when you juxtapose it with the other plays, there's these tragic moments, but there's a lot of comedy and funny moments and slapstick throughout, and play and leisure. You shall outlive the lady whom you serve. So we have this funny moment where Charmian is wishing for all these things, and then we have a stark moment. You shall outlive Cleopatra. Oh, excellent. I love long life better than figs. You have seen, and there's, that's an omen where at the end the asps, the serpent that bites Cleopatra is smuggled in under some figs. You have seen and proved a fairer former fortune than that which is to approach. Then belike my children shall have no names. Prithee, how many boys and wenches must I have? And the figs there is a phallic illusion as well. Soothsayer, if every one of your wishes had a womb, and fertile every wish a million, if your wishes had a womb, you'd have a million, right? Out, fool, I forgive thee for a witch. Alexis, you think none, but your sheets are privy to your wishes. We have some comic moments here. Nay, come tell Iris hers. We'll know all our fortunes. Mine and most our fortunes tonight shall be drunk to bed. We're getting drunk tonight, right? There's a palm prestigious chastity, giving her hand to the soothsayer, if nothing else. E'en as the overflowing now prestigious famine. Go, you wild bedfellow, you cannot soothsay. Nay, if an oily palm, these are all punning here, right? Oily palm is a sign of lascivious, sexual. Be not a fruitful prognostication. I cannot scratch mine ear. Prithee, tell her but a worky-day fortune. Your fortunes are alike. But how? Give me particulars. I have said, Am I not an inch of fortune better than she? Well, and we have some more comic moments here, right? Well, if you were but an inch of fortune better than I, where would you choose it? Not in my husband's nose. Ha ha ha, right? Where would we choose that inch on the husband, right? Or worser thoughts. Heaven men. Alexis, come, his fortune is fortune. Oh, let him marry a woman that cannot go, sweet Isis. Isis, goddess of fertility in the moon, is mentioned a number of times in here. Cleopatra is referred as Isis. Cleopatra is referred to other things as well. I beseech thee, and let her die too, and give him a worse, and let worse follow worse, till the worst of all follow him, laughing to his grave, 50-fold a cuckold. Good Isis, hear me this prayer. Though thou deny me a matter of more weight, good Isis, I beseech thee. Amen. Dear goddess, hear the prayer of the people, for as it is a heartbreaking to see a handsome man lose wived, it's heartbreaking to see a good-looking man's wife run around on him. So it is a deadly sorrow to behold a foul knave uncuckolded. And just as bad, it's a sorrow to see an ugly man's wife not cheating on him. Therefore, dear Isis, keep decorum and fortune him accordingly. Amen. They're joking and playing around here. Lo, now, if it lay in their hands to make me a cuckold, they would make themselves whores, but they do it. Hush, quiet down the joking. Here comes Antony, not he, the queen. Cleopatra, saw you, my lord? Right? No, lady. Was he not here? No, madame. He was disposed to mirth, but on the sudden a Roman thought had struck him. Thought of Rome, Cleopatra is he thinking about Rome and wants to go back there? Enobarbus, madam, seek him and bring him hither. Where is Alexis? Here at your service, my lord approaches, and here comes Antony with the messenger and attendants. We will not look upon him. Go with us. Yeah, so we're going to give him a little cold shoulder here. Fulvia, here's the messenger. Fulvia, thy wife first came into the field. Against my brother Lucius? Aye. But soon that war had ended, and a time state made friends of them, jointing their force against Caesar. Whose better issue in the war from Italy upon the first encounter drave them? Well, what worst? Messenger, the nature of bad news infects the teller. I got bad news for you, right? When it concerns the fool or coward on things that are past done with me, 'tis thus. Who tells me true, though in his tale lie death, I hear him as he flattered. Labienus, this is stiff news. Had with his Parthian force extended Asia from Euphrates, his conquering banner shook from Syria to Lydia and to Ionia, whilst Antony thou wouldst say, O my lord, speak to me home. Stop beating around the bush and tell me what's going on. Mince not the general tongue, right? Be blunt. Don't talk around. Name Cleopatra as she is called in Rome. Rail thou in Fulvia's phrase. Tell me what they're saying. So, the messenger, people are talking shit about you, Antony. And there's a juxtaposition in this play too between Rome and Egypt, right? Antony in Rome, it seems like he's emasculine. He's shirking his masculine duties, and he's laying up, having fun, indulging in pleasure, sex, wine, all this stuff. He's like, tell me what they're saying. Are they talking shit about me? Let me know. With such full license as both truth and malice have power to utter. Oh, then we bring forth weeds when our quick winds lie still, and our ills told us in our earing. Fare thee well a while, at your noble pleasure. Enter another messenger. So the first messenger, they're talking about you. From Sion, how the news speak there. The man from Sion. Is there such a one? Sicyon. He stays upon your will. Let him appear. These strong Egyptian fetters I must break, or lose myself in dotage. So Antony's also feeling a pang here, right? These strong Egyptian fetters. Both Cleopatra's pull on him, the law, and how he's, or I'm going to lose myself in dotage. This is lying around, lying and sex, wine, just pleasure, play. He's thinking, he has a pang here about what they're saying. And here's the other messenger. Fulvia, thy wife is dead. Wow, we're not beating. Your wife is dead, who you've been running around. Where died she? In Sicyon. Her length of sickness, with what else more serious imports thee to know despairs. He hands Antony the letter. Forbear me. And here we have Antony's first soliloquy. There's a great spirit gone. So that's about Fulvia, right? A great spirit gone. Thus did I desire it. Wow, that's did I want that? Did I want that to happen? Think about fortune and chance. What our contempt doth often hurl at us. We wish it ours again. The present pleasure by revolution lowering. In our estimation, the wheel of time turns and spins. The revolution does become the opposite of itself. She's good being gone. The hand could pluck her back that shoved her on. So he's turning this around. Fulvio's a great spirit. I desired it because I'm here with Cleopatra. The present pleasure. And then he's thinking now, I must from this enchanting queen break off. Cleopatra, she has me in her enchantments, Cleopatra. 10,000 harms more than the ills I know. My idleness doth hatch. So I'm hanging out enchanted, infatuated, love, lust, all the above, but it's causing more harm. How now, so there's this first soliloquy here. He admits desiring the news, the need for him to leave Cleopatra, so there's these warring factions here. He wants to leave Cleopatra, but he can't. He there's all these things. Barbus, get back here. How, Barbus? What's your pleasure, sir? I must with haste from hence. Why then we kill all our women? We set how mortal and unkindness is to them. If they suffer our departure, death's the word. I must be gone. I got to get out of here. I got to get out of here. I got to get back. Under a compelling occasion, let women die. And Barbus, he let women die. In these moments, it was such a play, the juxtaposition, the change from Barbus, Charmian, and the servants joking around with the soothsayer, then this grave news of Fulvia dying. Antony, I got to get out of here. And then Barbus is joking around here too. Let women die. He means dying. Orgasm is an old term for the little death of French, the little death, right? It were a pity to cast them away for nothing, though between them and a great cause they should be esteemed nothing. Cleopatra, catching but the least noise of this, dies instantly. I have seen her die 20 times upon far poorer moments. Cleopatra is going to be pleased. I do think there is metal in death which commits some loving act upon her. She has such a celerity in dying. She is cunning past man's thought. So that's Antony talking about Cleopatra. One of the questions is, describe Cleopatra. She is cunning past man's thought. Is that what draws Antony to Cleopatra? What is it about Cleopatra? She's cunning. So she's smart, wily, gorgeous. She has it. Both Antony and Cleopatra, though they face disaster sense, they both have it, right? When it comes to their attraction to one another, they have that electricity. She is cunning, and we can read this. Is this negative? Is this positive? No. Alack, sir, no. Her passions are made of nothing but the finest parts of pure love. We cannot call her winds and waters, sighs and tears. They are greater sores. So Cleopatra doesn't sigh and shed these tears. They're greater storms and tempests than almanacs can report. This cannot be cunning in her. If it be, she makes a show of a reign as Jove. Would I had never seen her. It's Antony's torn in two. I wish I would have never laid eyes on Cleopatra, but I can't live without her. It's that torn, I wish this would have never, but I can't go without her. Oh, sir, you had then left unseen a wonderful piece of work, which not to have been blessed withal would have discredited your travel. Fulvia is dead. Anthony's feeling that pang here. There's that theme of guilt, right? Even though he's infatuated in love with Cleo, he's feeling that Fulvia is dead. Sir, Fulvia is dead. Fulvia, dead. Why, sir, give the gods a thankful sacrifice. When it pleaseth their deities to take the wife of a man from him, it shows to man the tailors of the earth, comforting therein. Barbas is just talking. That when old robes are worn out, there are members to make new. You can get a new wife, right? If there were no more women but Fulvia, then had you indeed a cut, then it was bad. But in the case to be lamented, the grief is crowned with consolation. Your old smock brings forth a new petticoat, and indeed the tears live in an onion that should water the sorrow. The business she has broached in the state cannot endure my absence. I gotta get back. I gotta get back. I gotta get back, but I can't tear myself away. And the business you have broached here cannot be without you, especially that of Cleopatra's, which wholly depends on your abode. Cleopatra's, you gotta be here. No more light answers. Stop joking around. This is serious. Stop playing around, Barbas. No more light answers. Let our officers have noticed what we purpose. I shall break the cause of our expedience to the queen and get her leave to part. I'm telling Cleopatra we're leaving. She's going to be pissed. For not alone the death of Fulvia with more urgent touches, not just because of Fulvia's death, but I got to get back for business. Do strongly speak to us, but the letters too of many of our contriving friends, they're contriving against. They're in Rome, petition us at home. We got to get back. Sextus Pompeius has given the dare to Caesar and commands the empire of the sea. Our slippery people, whose love is never linked to the deserver till his deserts are past, begin to throw Pompey the Great and all his dignities upon his son, who high in name and power, higher than both in blood and life, stands up for the main soldier, whose quality going on the sides of the world may danger much his breeding, which like the courser's hair hath yet but life and not a serpent's poison. And this is a theme, and I mean, this would be fascinating to write about. I don't think there's any play of Shakespeare, and fact check me, correct me, animals play a huge play. The courser's hair, right? We have the courser's hair, a horse's hair placed in water was thought to turn into a serpent. And there's that changing, that transmutation, that changing into something else. But we have the serpent here. But it's fascinating to trace the animal references throughout this play and what they refer to. To such whose place under us requires our quick remove, I shall do it. We got to get out of here. So a lot is going on. We have a longer scene. We're going to have long scenes juxtaposed with short scenes like before, but these longer scenes, there's a play of that languorousness I talk about. The scene opens with the comedy, and then that gut punch of Fulvia's dead, and then Antony here, I got to get back, but I can't tear myself away from Cleopatra.